Roman Novak. In the world of crypto, fortunes can be made and lost in the blink of an eye. But sometimes the price isn't paid in dollars, it's paid in blood, and the bill comes due in the most brutal way imaginable. In early October 2025, Roman Novak, a Russian crypto investor who had allegedly raised and fled with $500 million from a fraudulent app, was lured to a rented villa in Hatta, a mountain resort outside Dubai. He and his wife Anna were there to meet three men posing as potential investors. They were promised a new life, a new deal. But this wasn't a business meeting, it was an execution. Once inside the villa, the tone shifted. The doors were locked, the friendly smiles vanished. The couple was bound and tortured. The men demanded the access codes to Novak's crypto fortune, the keys to the $500 million kingdom he had supposedly stolen. But whether he couldn't or wouldn't give them up, the result was the same. The wallet was empty, and the kidnappers' patience ran out. They stabbed the couple to death. And then, the real horror began. In a scene of pure butchery, they dismembered the bodies, cutting them into pieces and packing them into plastic bags. They poured industrial chemical solvents over the remains, a crude attempt to destroy the evidence, to erase Roman and Anna from existence. Some of the remains were dumped in trash bins at a shopping center. Not all of their body parts have ever been found. The killers, it turned out, didn't even really understand cryptocurrency. They had tortured and butchered two people for a digital treasure they had no idea how to access, and they ended up with nothing but blood on their hands. It's a uniquely painful crypto death, a story where the unimaginable physical horror of being cut to pieces stands in stark contrast to the virtual emptiness of the prize. A ghost wallet, paid for with real blood. Gerald Cotten. This next story is about a death that was, on the surface, quiet and clinical. But its consequences were a financial nuclear bomb that vaporized the life savings of over 100,000 people. Gerald Cotten was the 30-year-old Canadian founder of Quadriga CX, once Canada's largest crypto exchange. He was the friendly, boy genius face of the company. But behind the scenes, he ran it like a personal fiefdom, holding the keys to hundreds of millions of dollars in customer funds on his own encrypted laptop. No one else had access. In December 2018, just days after signing a new will, he and his new wife, Jennifer Robertson, traveled to India for their honeymoon. The official purpose of the trip included opening an orphanage for underprivileged children. 9 days into the trip, in a luxury hotel in Jaipur, Cotten developed severe stomach pains. He was diagnosed with acute gastroenteritis, and his condition rapidly deteriorated into septic shock. His heart stopped. Doctors resuscitated him once, but it stopped again. Within 24 hours of his first complaint, he was dead. The official cause was complications from Crohn's disease. But here's the thing. No one else had the passwords. With Cotten's death, an estimated $190 million in crypto belonging to over 100,000 users was instantly and permanently locked away. Gone. The crypto world exploded with conspiracy theories. Had he faked his own death? Was it all just the most audacious exit scam in history? The fact that no autopsy was performed and that his name was misspelled on his Indian death certificate only fueled the fire. Canadian regulators later concluded that Quadriga had operated like a Ponzi scheme long before Cotten's death. The pain here is twofold: the literal, agonizing pain of a young man dying from a septic infection on his honeymoon, and the financial agony of thousands of people who lost everything. It's the story of an entire crypto exchange dying with one man's intestines, a uniquely grim tale of digital fortunes and physical decay. Nikolai Mushegian. What if you knew you were going to die? What if you tweeted it to the world, a desperate, paranoid scream into the void, and then it happened? Nikolai Mushegian was a 29-year-old American, a brilliant and eccentric co-founder of the crypto lending protocol MakerDAO. He was a key architect of the DeFi world, a visionary who saw the potential of decentralized finance. But he was also, by many accounts, a man haunted by his own mind, struggling with paranoia and mental health issues. In the days leading up to his death in October 2022, he posted a series of alarming tweets from his new home in Puerto Rico. He claimed that shadowy agencies, the CIA and Mossad, were going to torture and frame him. He said they would steal his crypto and then kill him, making it look like an accident. It was the kind of paranoid rant that's all too common in the darker corners of the crypto world, easy to dismiss. But then, on the morning of October 28th, just hours after his final, chilling tweet, his body was found in the water near Condado Beach, an area known for its strong, dangerous rip currents. He was fully clothed, his wallet still in his pocket. The official cause of death was drowning. Police found no immediate evidence of foul play, but his final, prophetic tweets went viral. Was it a tragic coincidence? A self-fulfilling prophecy driven by a mental breakdown that led him to a dangerous beach in a storm? Or was it something more sinister? The internet, of course, had its theories. He became another name in a string of mysterious crypto-billionaire deaths, an internet legend. The pain of this story lies in that ambiguity. A man terrified of being tortured for his digital wealth, who instead dies a very physical, lonely death, swept out to sea. The contrast between the elaborate spy thriller paranoia of his final days and the banal, tragic reality of a drowning is what makes this a uniquely haunting crypto death. A ghost story where the ghost wrote his own ending, and we're still not sure if it was fiction or a warning. Mr. Chan, not all crypto deaths are about billionaires and international conspiracies. In January 2026, a 32-year-old Hong Kong man, known only by his surname, Chan, returned home from a trip. His father picked him up from the airport. During the car ride, Chan admitted he had lost everything. Around 1.2 million US dollars, wiped out in the volatile crypto market. He had been unemployed and had poured his hopes and his savings into the digital gold rush. Back at their apartment in a high-rise complex ironically named Beacon Heights, Chan's distress escalated. He was agitated, inconsolable, engaging in self-harm. His father tried to calm him, to restrain him, to tell him it was only money. But in the struggle, Chan fell from the apartment window, landing on a lower platform of the building. He was rushed to the hospital, but he died from his injuries. Police classified it as a fall from height. This wasn't a story of murder or mystery. It was a story of pure, unadulterated despair. The quiet, desperate pain of a man who had gambled everything on a digital dream and lost. The image is bleakly symbolic. A young man wiped out by bets on a screen, plunging from a tower named Beacon Heights after failing to hold on, both literally and financially. It's a story that's repeated in smaller ways all over the world, every time the market crashes. The pain here isn't a gunshot or a knife. It's the crushing weight of financial ruin, the silent, personal horror of watching your future evaporate, and the final, desperate act of letting go. Konstantin Galish. Sometimes, the crypto world writes its own movie scripts. This is one of them. Konstantin Galish was a 32-year-old Ukrainian crypto trader and influencer. He ran a trading academy called Cryptology Key, had tens of thousands of followers, and drove a Lamborghini. He was the picture of crypto success, the guy who had made it, the guy who could teach you how to make it too, until he wasn't. In October 2025, the crypto market suffered a historic flash crash. Billions of dollars in leveraged positions were liquidated in an instant. In the days before his death, Galish posted about his own serious financial difficulties. The guru was in trouble. He had lost at least $30 million of his investors' money. The man who sold the dream was living a nightmare. On October 11th, his body was discovered inside his Lamborghini in Kyiv. He had a single gunshot wound to the head. A pistol, registered in his name, was lying nearby. He had sent farewell messages to his family the day before. The preliminary assessment was self-inflicted. But the story has a final, painful twist. The same flash crash that wiped out Galish and his investors made someone else incredibly rich. An anonymous trader, it was later revealed, had made a massive bet against the market and walked away with a profit of $190 million. One trader's death was another's jackpot. It's an almost cinematic tableau. The young, flashy influencer, dead in his luxury car, ruined by a market crash that made someone else a fortune. The bitter irony is tailor-made for a story about painful crypto deaths. A story about the brutal, zero-sum nature of the game, where for every winner, there's a loser. And sometimes, the loss is more than just money. Anna Novak. We started this story with Roman Novak, the crypto scammer dismembered in a Dubai villa. But there was another victim that day, his wife, Anna. And her story is, in many ways, even more painful. She traveled with her husband to that meeting, likely believing it was a high-level investor rendezvous. She was the collateral damage, the +1 at an execution she didn't see coming. She was, in the cold calculus of the criminal underworld, completely expendable. Once inside the villa, the couple was restrained and tortured. And according to reports, the kidnappers made each spouse watch the other's suffering. A calculated, psychological cruelty designed to break them, to force them to give up the crypto keys. Imagine that, being forced to watch the person you love being tortured, knowing that your own pain is being used as a weapon against them. And all for a digital fortune that may or may not have even existed. A ghost that haunted them to their last agonizing breath. When it became clear that the kidnappers weren't getting any money, they killed them both. Anna was stabbed alongside her husband, her body dismembered and disposed of in the same brutal, methodical way. She died for a wallet that was empty. She died because she was married to a man who had made powerful enemies. Her death is a reminder that the victims of crypto crime aren't always the ones who made the trades. Sometimes, they're the people who just happen to be standing next to them. Investigators later suggested that the kidnappers themselves were just pawns, acting on behalf of a mastermind who may have controlled the real wallets all along. It adds another layer of futility to Anna's death. She died in unimaginable agony, for nothing. A ghost in a story full of them.